Hi, my name is Joubert. I've been with Blackbean now for around about a year. Um, I went to study at Stellenbosch University. I went to go study a degree called Value and Policy Studies in a marketing direction, and ended up never using it. And straight after university, I went into shooting video and stills. I was shooting pretty much everything, following my passion, trying to obviously make money while becoming a freelancer, which is quite a tough industry. Um, I then decided to go into weddings. Weddings were good payment to be able to pay the bills, and then at the same time use that extra time that I get to shoot passion projects at a lot lower rate. Um, Weddings actually ended up helping me in the Blackbean situations that I've been put in, but I'll touch on that a little bit later. Um, while doing this, I learned how to shoot hybrid, which has come in handy quite a lot, especially with Blackbean, shooting some stills in between video. And that was kind of just picked up due to me shooting different projects where people would say they want me to shoot video, but then maybe just get some stills in between. I've always traveled, and I started my traveling actually in Africa with my family. We used to travel Africa quite often. I remember traveling in a little green Jetta through different countries like Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and then through university carried on traveling, kind of saving up, going on a trip, doing trips through Southeast Asia, cycling, and shot through all of these where my love for travel photography and more storytelling photography and videography was born. I decided after a while, after a few years, that I can't just keep shooting things to make money, but I need to decide if I'm going to make this a living. I need to actually decide what do I love shooting and kind of follow that passion to be able to build a life that I wake up to and I'm excited to go out and shoot. And there were some things that I was shooting which was just to make money, and I decided I kind of need to take the plunge and start shooting exactly what I want to shoot. I had a few months to ask myself, what do I actually want to shoot? And I ended up realizing that I wanted to tell stories. I wanted people to see my content, to make them feel emotions through my content, to also make change through content. So using my photos and videos to make people take action on certain things and make them feel certain emotions. I think a big turning point was watching a TED talk by Chris Burkard. I would highly recommend it, about where he explains how he shot surf photography in Hawaii, and he seemed to have the best life ever. But then he realized that it's quite boring for him and kind of started shooting in icy situations. And the point of the story being that he decided that the photos that he's most proud of are the ones that he actually gave a part of himself up to create the image. So being in icy water and actually shooting that image, when he looks back at the photo, it's not just a beautiful photo, but he realizes he put himself through a tough situation to get it. And with Blackbean, I actually realized that that's a real thing, is spending time in Africa in blistering heat and carrying gear for super far hikes and whatnot. Is when you get that shot, you're proud of it. So yeah, I decided what do I want to shoot, and I kind of decided to go into NPOs, NGOs. I shot for Medicine Without Borders, and through them got in contact with the UN, started pushing on the UN and trying to see if I can get in there. I was just trying to go down all these different alleyways to try to follow this dream of mine of telling stories and creating content that means something. I then, in that time, went to the Cape Town Adventure Film Festival and saw James and Ollie sitting at one of the tables. Actually got Ollie's name wrong. And I had seen them before due to a different brand I shoot for, and I kind of approached them and said, listen guys, I'll carry camera bags, I'll help you whenever I can. I would just love to do what you guys are doing. And they didn't know the backstory of where I came from, where I was in my life at all. Basically, a week later, I got an email to ask if I could assist on a job in Kenya. I went. and pretty much the rest is history with Blackbean. Been a crazy journey, um, and yeah, well, I say the rest is history, but it wasn't really. I tried as hard as I could on the first couple of jobs, obviously to impress and to work hard and to show my worth on the shoots, and off the shoots. Just as much as possible get involved with Blackbean. Obviously try to impress the DOP as a young camera operator. Forgetting a lens or two when going on a boat on the Zambezi is not going to count in your favor. Neither is capturing a soft leopard shot climbing up a tree. But yeah, slowly but surely we became closer. I became more comfortable, and I felt like I was becoming more part of the team and more useful as a filmmaker on these. I've grown so much since then, and the Blackbean team really has taken me in and helped me grow as a filmmaker. And other than that, as a person, as a photographer, learning how processes work on the back end, learning about pre-production. I've learned the value that I was talking about earlier about getting the shot in the moment, and that shot means so much more after putting in effort, after spending a couple of sunrises in the same place trying to shoot the same animal and actually finally getting the shot. It's also been amazing to create this content that we can put out in the world that I can see is making change and making people feel something. Even just my photos on my personal channels, I can see it's meaning more to people that are viewing it than simply shots that I used to take, which were good, of sunsets and whatnot. But a lot of my images now I feel are making change. I also, like I said earlier, one point that I would like to touch on is just for younger filmmakers out there, which I am still, is that other shoots have helped me so much, and I only realized I'd been shooting for Blackbean for a while, is that a thing like shooting weddings. I shot quite a few weddings, like I said, to pay the bills in the beginning, and I just feel like the weddings helped me a ton. I mean, being put under pressure situations, it sounds ridiculous, but something like making sure that you get the right angle at the right time on a wedding, on a first kiss or a moment of getting ready, I feel actually prepared me quite a bit for being under pressure situations in the bush, and holding my own and actually getting the shot when it counted. So I just feel like for people trying to get into the industry more, one thing that has paid off for me is the more you shoot, even if it's not stuff you want to shoot initially, the more you shoot, the better you get. The more content you put out there, the more you edit. I feel that's still how I am getting better and better. And then lastly, I just wanted to touch on, I guess, my favorite thing about Blackbean and having shot for Blackbean. And I think for me, my favorite part has been the actual team. These trips are amazing, and we go to all these places in Africa and different parts of the world. And the thing that makes these trips so amazing for me is the bond that I've built with people on the team. People like Ollie and James that have come on trips with me. The bond that you're creating through travel, through hard times, through this heat, through sitting in the rain while you need to get a shot. It really builds you as a person, and at the same time, the person you're going through it with, you build an amazing relationship with. And I think that's paid off for me. It's shown the value of not just getting the shot and getting amazing content, but building these relationships as you go. And the more I've built these relationships, I feel like the better the content has become, because we understand each other and we understand how we shoot and work together. I think I'm looking forward to where Blackbean is going. I'm looking forward to being part of this growth that they have. And I hope that you guys enjoy the content that we put out there, especially on social media, that's so accessible, and that we can show you some amazing places, teach you some more about conservation, and basically just show you parts of the world that you might never get to see, and that we are really so privileged enough to be able to see and to capture and to show to you guys. That's my